Hi there! How are you guys? Welcome back to Rule of Two Review. So every once in a while I have a reason to go back and visit a topic that I recently discussed with you guys on a video. And that's what I'm doing today. I wanted to further elaborate a little bit on what I discussed in yesterday's video about the Nintendo Switch Treehouse event and the Nintendo Switch January 12th Tokyo event, both of which are incredibly exciting, and we are all just crapping in our pants for. Like, we all, as Nintendo fans and as gamers, are beyond excited for what Nintendo's going to be showing us about the Switch. We're going to finally get so much of the information that we've been waiting for. The price, the date, the games, the third parties, the controllers, the battery, all that stuff we know we're probably going to be understanding by the end of this week, and it's crazy exciting. But of course, the nature of the video that I just made was discussing how I feel like it's very likely that the Nintendo Treehouse event on Friday the 13th is the event that's probably more meant to get us excited, that a lot of us should probably be paying very close attention to, and that it's the event Nintendo really means to give us to really make us that excited and to ramp up our anticipation and to give us the information that we as gamers want to hear, as opposed to maybe some of the investors or the business side of Nintendo. So again, the reason I wanted to elaborate a little bit further is I saw some comments and had a couple of conversations with people. For the most part, I mean, a very well-received video, and a lot of people understood where I was coming from and agreed that the Treehouse event is really super exciting and potentially going to be more exciting for the gamer than the January 12th event in Tokyo. I had some conversations with people, however, that kept maintaining their excitement for the 12th event, which we all absolutely should. Do not get me wrong. That's part of what I need to discuss with you guys. And it made me realize that I should probably talk a little bit further and really explain what I mean. So a lot of people defending what's happening with the January 12th event, I don't disagree with you, but I think that it kind of showed that maybe my messaging was lost. What I was trying to say is that the January 12th event, I think, is going to be less of a spectacle, like an E3 or a Tokyo Game Show kind of presentation, and more about the hard facts and the hard numbers, whereas the Treehouse event is going to be the fun details and the fun reveals and the showcase of the gameplay elements that we're excited for as gamers, and not people who maybe work in the industry, work within the press, or work in the marketing side of the video game industry, or even are an investor for Nintendo. I think a lot of what's happening on January 12th, not all of it, but a lot of it is going to be about that. And that's, again, a very huge part of the purpose of this video was to discuss that January 12th event and what I really feel is going to happen. Now, some people, I think, maybe got the wrong idea and took it as a slight against the Tokyo event, and that I may be confused on what the Treehouse is supposed to be. And I think that some of those people might be a little bit confused. What I'm getting at is I don't think that the January 12th event is going to be exciting like an E3 or a TGS, like I said, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. And I think some people maybe thought that in my wanting to kind of hype up the Treehouse event more than the January 12th event is maybe me like affronting the January 12th event, and that is not the case, you guys. Without question, the January 12th event is going to be great. We should all be excited for it. I am incredibly excited for January 12th because, like I said, even though I don't necessarily expect a lot of excitement, that doesn't mean I'm not excited to learn the information they're going to give us. I maintained this whole time, that last video, and even right now, that I do expect actual good information to come from that event in Tokyo. They are definitely using that event to tell us the things that we all want to know. And that is exciting. So I am excited for the January 12th event. I do expect great fun things out of it. But like I said, what I don't expect, and I've struggled, I guess, to maybe help people understand the difference I'm talking about. And I used this analogy in a video a couple of days ago. If you look at the difference between Sony's PlayStation 4 Pro event, which was, we all know, kind of boring and struggled to get the message across and, just wasn't exciting for the gamer. And then you look at Sony's E3 this past year, which was insane. It had trailer after trailer after trailer, surprise after surprise after surprise, and great moments that made people stand up and cheer, and more great moments like that, and that kind of delivery. Look at the delivery of those two ideas. And I feel like the January 12th event is going to fall somewhere in between, where I do expect some exciting moments for gamers, and some information that will make gamers, myself included, very excited, but I also expect potentially a little bit more of the boring stuff, a little bit more of, like I said, just the hard numbers and a presentation that maybe doesn't feature exciting speakers trying to wow everybody. I mean, and like I said, I even theorized that the presentation isn't even going to be in English. And the reason that's a big deal to me isn't because, oh, everything should be in English and how dare they put it in Japanese. Of course they should make it in Japanese. They're a Japanese company presenting in Japan, in their home territory. The reason I theorized that's what it was going to be before they confirmed it was because it made sense for it to be so. But what that tells me is they're not making the presentation as much, at least not first for the worldwide audience. They're making it for the worldwide audience secondary. Hence the fact that they're going to have translators making it available in different languages as it's happening live. But the presentation and the folks on stage are speaking to a Japanese audience in Japanese. And what I was excited about when it comes to the Treehouse is the fact that they announced the Treehouse the next day made me realize, oh, this is when they're going to start translating their message to the worldwide audience. So beyond that, make no mistake, I still am trying to get across that I don't think that the January 12th event isn't going to be great. That's the long and the short of what I'm getting at. Is I still expect great things from that. It's going to be exciting to learn these details, you guys. But when we learned that the January 13th Treehouse was happening, it kind of told me that, okay, now they're ready just to kind of start speaking outside of that initial Japanese business audience, and they wanted to talk to the rest of the world and make it available in different languages for different people in different territories, you know. And I think that that's important. I do think that that's important, you guys. It just, in the sense that it showed me that they were finally going to give us the details that we're excited for, the way we want to be excited for them. Because again, us as the gaming audience, we look for the information about these companies and about this industry in a different way than the business audience. Both have merit and value, even to us, the gamers. So we should all be stoked for this January 12th thing, you guys. I can't wait to watch that thing. I am changing my work schedule that day just so I can make it home in time to watch it and record a video for you guys discussing my thoughts about it. It's going to be freaking awesome. But I think some people have still been confused on exactly what's going on with that thing. I mean, I had some people in my comment section saying, oh, Nintendo's pumping this thing so much. I mean, why would Nintendo be promoting and hyping up this January 12th event so much if it wasn't supposed to be a big deal for the gamer? And it's like, well, is that really true? Because to me, as far as what I've seen, I haven't seen Nintendo exactly do a lot of pumping up or hyping of this event. As far as I can tell, Nintendo mentioned it once back in October when they confirmed that January 12th was the date we were going to learn something. And then in the last week when they basically confirmed the time that it was going to happen. Like, really, Nintendo hasn't done or said anything about this other than confirming its existence and telling us the date and time. The internet has hyped it up, and a lot of you out there, myself included, we've been hyping it up in our own heads, and YouTubers have been hyping it up. Also myself included, I've talked about it. I'm not going to, play dumb there. And internet articles and all of this stuff and Twitter posts, that's been hyping it up. Nintendo themselves, Nintendo, the business entity and gaming company, has not done much of anything to tell the gaming public about the 12th event other than to, like I said, acknowledge its existence. And we've heard from other video game outlets and journalism sites who've talked about the fact that they're going and they're being flown out there to attend it and to view it. But again, Nintendo has really said almost nothing about it. And their website even just has a red picture that just says the date and time. They haven't done anything. So people trying to defend the importance of this to the gamer by saying, oh, Nintendo's making a big deal about it. Really, they're not to us. They're just not. And again, I need to reiterate in closing this video out, I don't even see that as a bad thing. So you guys, please don't think that I'm saying that it's bad that Nintendo hasn't been hyping it up to us. And I'm not saying it's bad that maybe it's not meant to be exciting for the gamer the way maybe the Treehouse is meant to be exciting for the gamer. To me, all things can be true, right? I mean, can't more than one thing be true here? I think that they can. So can't it be true that the January 12th event isn't necessarily for the gamer, but could also still be exciting for us to watch? And can't it also be true that, well, the January 12th thing might be a little bit more business-minded, but it could still be fun, and the Treehouse is also still going to be fun, and maybe a little bit more geared towards the gamer. All of those things can be true, and I think that a lot of times, a lot of folks and a lot of people in the gaming industry, a lot of gamers, can sometimes, not break down those walls and think that these walls that separate one idea from another are concrete, made out of adamantium, and never going to be broken. And no, that's just not the case, you guys. Several things can be true at once, such as the January 12th thing is going to be great, and the Treehouse is going to be great. And that's a wonderful thing, you guys. That's a great problem to have. Both events on both days are going to be awesome. We're going to get a full weekend, 4 days worth of news and information some of us hands-on time about the Switch. And that's really what this all comes down to, and I think that it's going to be great. And I should also say here at the end of this video that I never even said that I feel like it's a lock that this January 12th event is going to be more business-minded and less glitz and glam. It's entirely possible that I'm wrong. This was always only ever just me thinking out loud and putting the idea out for you guys, and putting the idea out into the ethosphere, like I said before in a video as well. And I just wanted people to be prepared just in case, because like I've said in the past many times, I love Nintendo. We all love Nintendo. They're the best. However, they definitely possess this insane and unfortunate ability to let us down. To let us down so many times. They will usually bring us up. I mean, 8.5 times out of 10, they're bringing us up. But the other 1.5 times, they're maybe letting us down, and they prepare us for something that doesn't really deliver. I mean, look at the last 2 years E3. Well, not this last year's E3. They managed to save that somehow with the Zelda thing in a way that only Nintendo could. But look at some of their worst E3s, like 2015 and the other ones, but 2013. Like we get so excited for those things, and so many times it's like, Nintendo, did you know what you were supposed to do going into this? Like, what were you thinking? And so they do that. They make some baffling decisions, you guys, and they don't always do things the way we expect or want them to. And for some reason, I started to get this air of this January 12th event sort of being that. And I feel like maybe they weren't translating to people exactly that this thing might be different than we're expecting. And so I just don't want people to be so disappointed in the off chance that this thing does turn out to be not an exciting E3-like presentation. I'm just looking out for everybody, myself included, my own feelings and emotions going into this. And then the Treehouse thing, like I said, it just changed my whole attitude. It made me way more excited. It showed me Nintendo was making the right decisions. They understand potentially what this January 12th event is going to be, and they understand how they need to start translating to the consumer and the gamer, and so the Treehouse might be a way to fix that. And it also got me excited because once I knew the Treehouse was coming the following day, it was like, oh, well now I'm even more excited for the 12th event, because in the off chance the 12th event isn't this big exciting thing, it's going to matter less. It's like, oh, if the 12th event thing happens and I'm like, oh, well, that was kind of boring and not really exciting. I mean, it was kind of whatever. I don't have to feel sad and depressed about it, because I know that the following morning Nintendo's going to give us more stuff. Anyway, I'm making this conversation long in the tooth, longer than I anticipated, and a little bit more all over the place, but I just wanted to lift people's spirits back up about this January 12th event. And I don't even know if I did that. Maybe I'm just rambling for no reason here, you guys, but I just needed to talk to you and let you know January 12th is going to be great. I believe it's going to be great. Just because I think that maybe it's going to be not as exciting as something like an E3 or a Treehouse, and that the Treehouse is going to hopefully give us that feeling that we want, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it's bad for Nintendo to make a business-centric meeting about the Switch the way that they're doing it, and we are lucky they're live streaming it. The fact that they're live streaming it is a good sign. The fact that they're making it available in multiple languages and not just their native language is a good sign. These things could all be true. And like I was saying, many things could be true. 12th could be great, 13th could be great, the Switch is going to be great, so let's just be excited for everything to be great. So yeah, anyway, that's it, guys. This video turned into a couple of different things, I think, at once. Please just understand that everything's going to be awesome, and not like we shouldn't be prepared for the worst, and that's what started this conversation in a video last week that became yesterday's and now today's video. But I really do believe that the 12th is going to be a really fun thing, and we're going to get great information out of it. And then the 13th is going to be the actual fun day with real information, real gameplay about real Switch games, and seeing the Switch operating live and in person. For me, that'll be the day before I get to go hands-on in New York. So it's just all going to be awesome. Like, this weekend's going to be great. We're going to hear from so many people, obviously myself, talking about the Nintendo Switch, and we're going to hear from other people who are at these events in New York City talking about the Switch. We're going to see the presentation in Tokyo, we're going to see the Treehouse on the 13th, and everything's going to be hunky frickin' dory, and we're going to be even more excited for the Switch than we already are. And that's a great feeling, you guys. So I'm going to end this very long video about why the 12th is still going to be a fun day that we should all be excited for. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and got something out of it, and at the end of the day, let's just be pumped for the Switch. So thanks for tuning in. This, of course, as always, is Rob of Rule 2 Review, and I will catch you guys next time on another video.